just finished cranking up Cheap Trick's Heaven Tonight album, and I had to go back and give it an extra half point in my rating. I'd always been under the impression that In Color was by far the better album. The fact of the matter is I haven't really listened to Cheap Trick much in a long time. But having heard Heaven Tonight today, I'd say it's closer to In Color than I remember. I'd say they're about even, maybe. I don't know. I know people are going, isn't this what am I tuning into here? Isn't this supposed to be a Strat-O-Matic broadcast? I know, I get weird. Sometimes I just say whatever's on my mind. Hello to Blaine Shores. Greetings, Barbara. Hello, Kenyon Gray. Welcome, one and all, to the second game of the doubleheader, which we played the first game yesterday. It's Dodgers at Braves. Third game of a 4-game set. So far they've split the first two. Yesterday, of course, was the blowout in which the Dodgers accomplished the rare feat of getting not one but two ground ball A++ singles in the same inning. That doesn't happen very often. Today, Don Drysdale will take the mound for Los Angeles. He'll be opposed by right-hander Tony Cloninger of Atlanta. So two pitchers who were almost as well known for their hitting heroics as their pitching. Maybe not quite, but they were both good hitters. For Drysdale, 6-7, 3.78 ERA on the season. He's made 16 starts, completed 5 of them, including a shutout. In 112 innings, he's given up 129 hits, 22 walks, and 74 strikeouts. So not the best year by Drysdale, which kind of brings me to the question that somebody asked me yesterday, is this the best rotation ever, the 66 Dodgers? Well, I kind of think 65 or 63 were better. Comparing 65 to 66, the upgrade, obviously, is you bring in the rookie Don Sutton to replace the sore-armed Johnny Padres, who was near the end of the line. But the main three, Koufax, Drysdale, and Osteen, were all better in 65 than they were in 66. If you're looking at the strength of the top three, I'd have to go with 65. And I did look into the Orioles rotations, and I'd have to agree with Franklin. Looking at 69 through 72, I'd have to go with 71. Cloninger's record, 7-8, 4.33, 17 starts, 2 complete games, one of them a shutout, 112 innings, 103 hits. What the hell? Hang on, this isn't expanded all the way. Where's the strikeouts? 52 walks, 74 strikeouts. So Cloninger walks a few. Also, in about the same amount of innings as Drysdale, he's given up 18 home runs. Drysdale only 6 home runs allowed. So they're pretty close as far as replays in the stats. Replay stats, in the replay. Yeah, and then you got Stan Williams, of course, in the 4 spot. That was 63. That's another one I'd throw into the mix, because that was basically peak Koufax Drysdale, and probably one of the greatest, for me anyway, although I was too young to appreciate it live at the time. I didn't know what the hell was going on in 63. I was 6 years old. But that 4-game sweep of the Yankees with Koufax winning 2 games and at the time a record-setting 15 World Series strikeouts, Hell, that could very well be the high point in the franchise history. To finally really not just beat the Yankees, as they squeaked by them in 7 games in 1955, but they basically vanquished them. They would have one last hurrah in 64, and then they were basically done for a long time. Welcoming in Mike Mangler, unmitigated once again. I've got my coffee. So, in fact, I'm doing a 63 Dodger replay as a side project on the Windows game. And yeah, it was Stan Williams. No, it wasn't. It was Bob Miller. Bob Miller was the 4th starter in 63. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a little out of it in the head again. I am feeling better. Hello there, Ben. And Ben had a revelating dream. We must hear more about that. Yeah, Bob Miller was the 4 in 63. It was Koufax, Drysdale, Padres, Bob Miller. And then sprinkled in there over those years, here and there, was Nick Wilhite. I don't know much about Wilhite, but he has a real cheapy card in the ATG set. Well, Barbara, I'm having Coastal Peaks. Cosmo blend, full strength. Dodger lineup pretty much the same as yesterday with one change. It'll be Wills at short leading off, Wes Parker at first base, Willie Davis is in center, Tommy Davis in left field, Lou Johnson in right field. So the outfielders bunched in the middle of the order. Jim Lefevre, who had the big day in game 1, he's at third base. Roseboro to do the catching. John Kennedy gets the start at second base. Drysdale on the mound. For the Braves, it's the exact same lineup as game 1. So both catchers are going to Iron Man it and catch both games with a doubleheader. Which you know I always get a kick out of that, because we'll never see that again, will we? Ben went somewhere, ended up in sort of a large high school class. Not a reunion per se. Oh, what a terrible dream. Ben? I don't know, this is something that you've kind of hinted at over the last couple of years. And, you know, I'd be the first to say that it's definitely not true. This is something that you have gotten into your head for some reason. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a form of beating yourself up, and I would say very unnecessarily at that. And of course, as far as other people saying, yeah, we knew this or that, I would say, first of all, my number 1 recommendation would be quit giving a shit what anybody else thinks. That's number 1. Hang on, I'm going to turn this heater down. You know, it's probably more like subconscious. This is Psych 101, really. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but it is a subject that fascinates me. I've been in therapy several years out of my life, probably over 3 different times. I'd say I've spent about 4 to 5 years in therapy. I've read all of the major books. but I'm not an expert, so I am careful to not dispense too much dime store advice. Okay, let's play ball. The umpires today: John Kibler behind the plate, Bill Jakowski at first, Ed Sudol at second, Paul Pryor at third. There were, ready for this, 47,226 at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium for this doubleheader. Been there, done that. Yeah, I'd tell them to get bent. I'm with you, Franklin. Handing down life lessons from behind the bar. Okay, now I'm paraphrasing It's Always Sunny. And here we go. Well, let's play some Strat-O-Matic. Maury Wills leads it off. Cloninger ready to go. Wills now at 269. No homers, 17 RBIs. Switch hitter batting left-handed. And here we go. It's a 2-2, and he hits him. Right off the bat, let's roll for it, and Wills takes his base. So that means that the fix is on as Cloninger hits the first batter. Wills, let's check the battery. +1 Cloninger, Torrey the 0, so 16. Wills held at 14, and Wes Parker the hitter. Parker at 272, 9 home runs, 32 RBIs. At 14, Wills is going to roll for the lead. He needs 2 through 10 or 12. He's out on 11. 7, he's got it. Here he goes, 1 to 14. Torrey's throw down. He's stolen it. And that's why you don't want to hit Maury Wills to start off an inning. For Wills, his 29th steal of the season. That's second in the league to Lou Brock. And here's the next pitch to Parker. 110, righty. Comebacker. Cloninger has it. He looks Wills back and throws him out. I've always found my 8 hours at work to be sheer miserableness as well. 1 down for Willie Davis. Davis homered in the opening game, 281, 4 homers, 37 RBIs. Wills dancing off second. Cloninger looks at him, now comes to the plate, 1-4 righty, foul ball back at the plate. Torrey back, tosses the mask aside, and makes the catch. So 2 down, Wills still standing at second, and it will be up to Tommy Davis. Temperatures rising in the heat. Good as an explanation as any, man. Tommy Davis at 294, 2 homers, 24 RBIs. My chat's screwed up now. There we go. Cloninger, the full windup on a 5-8, grounder to short, routine play for Menke. Throws him out, and the Dodgers strand Wills at second. So after half an inning, it's Los Angeles 0. Atlanta coming to bat against Big D, Don Drysdale. And the lineup, as I mentioned before, same as game 1. The red-hot Felipe Alou leads it off at first base. Eddie Matthews is at third. Hank Aaron, of course, bats third and plays right field. Mac Jones in center. Rico Carty is in left, so the Braves also piling their outfielders up in the heart of the order. Joe Torre will do the catching. Dennis Menke is at short. Woody Woodward at second. Fan favorite Woody Woodward. And Cloninger, a good hitting pitcher in the 9 spot. So did we have a beer batter unmitigated? Maybe I've missed some chat here. Possibly. Oh, I see it now. It's John Kennedy. Quite a bit of chat scrolled by there. I missed a bunch of stuff. All right, here's a Lou. 366 average, 14 homers, 49 RBIs. Drysdale gets the sign. Fastball, 5-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. The Lou strikes out with 1 out. Here's Eddie Matthews. Matthews at 268 on the year, 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. Drysdale with a 2-7 righty just misses outside with a fastball, and that's ball 4. And Matthews will take his base. Let's check the battery now. Drysdale a +1. Balanced out, of course, by the gun of Roseboro, a -3. So with a -2 battery, Matthews not held at 11. And Major League home run leader, Henry Aaron, steps to the plate. Average still low at 227. But he hit his 25th homer in the opener and now has 62 RBIs. There's Coda just outside the glass. That's right, Ernest. Hello there, and thank you. I forgot all about it. Happy St. Patrick's, everyone. Yeah, I'm almost, 14 and a half years retired from grocery now. I tend to forget about holidays a lot of the time. And it's self-defense. It's psychological defense, right? Because when you're in the grocery business, as long as I was, you pretty much learn to hate all holidays. Okay. Matthews at first, 1 down, and Drysdale out of the stretch. The pitch to Hank Aaron on a 1-8 and is crushed to deep left. Davis and Davis start back, and they just stop and admire that one. That's 12 rows up. And Hank Aaron has done it again. His 26th home run of the season. Holy crap. Can you believe it? 26 home runs. The Braves just in their 73rd game. And it's 2-0 Atlanta. A 1-8 righty, no doubt about it. That ball was smoked to the power alley in left center. I'll tell you, Franklin, what we really need right now after that comment is Dan Port to enter the room. I'm sure he'd have something to say. Mac Jones at 221, 4 homers, a dozen RBIs. Drysdale rubs up a new ball into the windup on a 2-5, struck him out. And with 2 away, Rico Cardi will come to the plate. Cardi now at 346. 6 homers, 22 RBIs. The pitch from Drysdale is a 1-5 righty, and he loses in ball 4. A 2-out walk to Cardi. And in the lineup, just never seems to stop sending good sluggers up to the plate. Joe Torre is the hitter now. What is Aaron's slugging? That's a good question. Let's go to the secondary stats. Aaron, before that home run, was slugging .509. By contrast, Felipe Alou slugging .628. Alou leads the league in slugging. It's the low batting average that's dragging Aaron's slugging down. And I really can't explain that. Cardi staying close to the bag as Drysdale comes set on a 5-9. That ball is drilled to left center. Davis back at the track, at the wall, off the wall for extra bases. That's a double for Torre. Cardi can try to score on that. 10 with 2 outs, 12. Davis a -1, 11. They're going to send him with 2 down. 1 through 11, the throw to the plate, he scores. And on the 8, Torre winds up at third base. Cardi all the way around to score. So you got to figure that double bounced away from Willie Davis in center. And that's about the only way I can visually see Cardi scoring on that. 3-0 Braves already, just in the first inning, just getting started here. And the hitter is Dennis Menke, comes in at .238, 5 homers, 20 RBIs. The pitch is a 1-9 righty. Routine roller to short. Wills charges it, throws on the run. And the side is retired. But 3 runs on 2 hits. 1 left. The big blow, of course, Henry Aaron's 26th home run of the season. And after 1 inning, it's 3-0 Braves. I kind of had a feeling today the Braves were going to come out for blood after having pretty much every possible dice roll go against them in yesterday's game. And completely unsurprising to this announcer, they jump out to a 3-0 lead here early. So we move to the second. Lou Johnson will start it off. Johnson he is leading the club in hitting, actually, at .292. 8 homers, 43 RBIs. Cloninger with the pitch on a 5-8. Rolls it to short, and that's Menke. Routine play and 1 down. Here's Jim Lefevre. Lefevre had 2 homers in the opener, now hitting .280. 14 home runs, 40 RBIs. Batting left-handed, Cloninger with a breaking ball, 1-7 righty, just outside ball 4. That's a 1-out walk to Lefevre. Well, I guess my buddy Ray's going to come over on Friday night for the Saturday draft. He needs a place to crash, which I'm not really equipped for sleepovers, but I've got the couch, which slightly folds out, so I guess that'll have to be good enough. That's all I can do. I'm not a very good host / entertainer, I'm afraid. Here's Roseboro, runner at first, 1 down. Roseboro is at .259. Oh, also at the top of the page, I put a Lou up there again. The last 10 days, .538 average, 6 homers, 13 RBIs. Roseboro, over the same period of time, is batting .500. No home runs, 3 RBIs. So he has indeed been hot to get his average up there. I wrote that down because I had mentioned yesterday that it wasn't that long ago that Roseboro was hitting under 200, and he's up to .259. And there's a large reason why. Cloninger out of the stretch on a 3-5 righty. Ground ball wide is second, fielded by Woodward. His only play is to first, and on the play, Lefevre moves over to second. But 2 away for the beer batter, John Kennedy. Kennedy, he's in there for his glove, not his bat, hitting just .206, no home runs. There's the pitch on a 6-6 righty. That's going to drive in a run. Triple to 5, in fact, and it's a 2-star single for Kennedy. And Lefevre crosses the plate to make it 3-1. Do I sound a little surprised? Well, I am. Don't expect much from the bat out of Kennedy. Heck, Drysdale's a better hitter than Kennedy. He's a 6 with end power. The pitch is a 3-10, struck him out. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. Yeah, me either, Ben. Nobody comes. So I'm not prepared for it. I had a much nicer convertible sofa in my old apartment. It was a Lazy Boy. It was my grandmother's, and she hardly ever used it. It was in like practically new condition. But of course it was destroyed, like many things, when that truck drove through my apartment 3 years ago. Which is how I ended up here. Okay, it's Woodward to lead off the bottom of the second. Woody Woodward at 263 now. No homers, 31 RBIs. Drysdale gets the side. That's going to be a 1-9 right-handed. He struck him out. Called strike 3. Woodward not too happy about it, but he doesn't complain too much. And here comes Cloninger, a 7 with end power, right-handed batter. That is a 1-5 righty, swung on and missed, strike 3. So 4 strikeouts for Drysdale already, but he's trailing 3-1. 2 down for the red-hot Felipe Alou. Drysdale gets the sign, the windup, the pitch on a 6-2 righty. Rolls it to short where Wills is there to make the play. And it's a clean inning for Don Drysdale. So 2 innings in the books, 3-1 Braves. My cat gets more guests. Yeah, that's true, Franklin. He does. Cat gets more visitors than I do. I mean, I'm not surprised. God, we're at 619 subscribers, too. I just want to take a moment and thank everybody for that. Never dreamed that would even be possible when I started doing this. And I look forward to this, and thank everybody for watching, especially the chat regulars. Most of you guys I've come to know. And I appreciate the social aspect of it. I've had some people complain in the comments that there's too much chit-chat here. Should just stick to the game, but there's no way I can do that. The chat has become a very important part of my life. Especially for a guy who lives alone. Well, alone with a cat, I guess. You can't leave Mookie out, can we? Especially not since he gets more guests than I do. So we tied that all back in to the beginning. 3rd inning. Top of the order for the Dodgers. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, you're never going to please everybody, and everybody has an opinion. These are just the facts. Does that faze me? Not really. Maury Wills hit by the pitch, stole second and was stranded there in the first. Cloninger gets the sign. It's a 2-5 righty. Comebacker. Cloninger knocks it down, picks it up, and throws Wills out. Here's Wes Parker, batting left-handed. Breaking ball, 3-6 righty, high fly ball to deep right. Aaron back at the track, at the wall, leaps up and makes the catch at the wall. Oh my goodness. That looked like it had a chance, but Aaron able to bring it back in, or bring it back down, depending on how you want to look at it. I wouldn't even do it if he pays me, Barbara. I'm not doing this to make money. This is a labor of love. As I've said before, if you're looking for a side gig, oh my goodness. If you're counting on YouTube, there's plenty of other things you can do. A few years ago, I drove for Lyft part-time. If I wanted to make some quick money, I'd do that. It's easy. The easiest job I ever had in my life. Depends what city you live in, of course. I wouldn't want to do it in LA. But in Spokane, Jesus, it's a cakewalk. Two down for Willie Davis. 6-4 left-handed. That's drilled high and deep to right. Aaron back at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Willie Davis with his second home run in as many games. And suddenly it's a one-run ball game. That is number 5 for the 3-dog. 6-4. He has the power. Against right-handers, anyway. And the score 3-2 now. You know, I had 600 or 800 rides. I had one bad experience out of the whole bunch. And I was shocked by that. When I first started to do it, sometimes I'd see some gaffly-looking person coming towards the car. I'd be thinking, oh no, here we go. And they'd turn out to actually be super nice. So not only did I make some money doing it, but in many ways it restored my faith in humanity. And that was also right after I'd been isolated for COVID for what, a year and a half? That was a very positive experience for me all the way around. Two down for Tommy Davis in a one-run game. Cloninger, fastball, 4-6 right-handed. That's ripped into the left center gap. Double to 8. Just misses it on the 9 as Jones cuts it off and gets it back in. Davis rounds and scurries back to the bag where he'll hold with a 2-out single. This is the best chat in the Strat-O-verse. And I'm basically at heart a cynical, I don't have a lot of faith in humanity. I mean, I look both ways before I cross a one-way street. Here's Lou Johnson 0 for 1. From the stretch on a 5-11. First base X, that's a Lou. A Lou, a 319 to his right. On a 17, he's there. He's going to go to the play in front of him. Throws it to Menke for the force, and that ends the inning. So a run on the Willie Davis homer makes it a one-run game. The Dodgers leave a man. And it's 3-2. And welcoming in Captain Carl. There you go. That's well put, unmitigated. I couldn't say it any better than that. Yeah, I'm generally disparaging of the human race, but pretty much if I meet somebody and get to know them, they're all right. People are basically all right. Maybe it's the media that's made us feel this way. The disconnection, the social media, which is supposed to bring people closer, but actually I think creates more isolation or more feelings of isolation. Not necessarily literal isolation, but feelings of isolation. Oh, here we go, Columbo, one of my favorites. Yeah, just one more thing. And Columbo, you know, there was a guy who always found something positive, even in the people that he knew were killers or suspected of being killers, right? He generally came to like some of those people, even though he had to arrest them. Or at least he found them sympathetic. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Bottom of the third, Eddie Matthews will start it off. Matthews walked in the first. Drysdale into the windup. That's a 3-8. Struck him out. Strikeout number 5 now for Drysdale. He's on a bit of a strikeout tear here early going. And up steps Hammer and Hank, who deposited one deep into the left center bleachers his first time up. Drysdale comes in with a fastball, 1-2. Ground ball to second. Kennedy has it, flips it over to Parker for the out. Aaron must have been looking for something else. 2 down for Mac Jones. Drysdale, breaking ball, 6-9. He goes the other way with that one and just drops it into left field in front of Davis. A 2-out single for Mac Jones. Let's check his speed now. He's a star 15. -2 battery, not held at 13. In a 1-run game, actually they're going to hold him. They're going to hold him at 11. He's the tying run at first base. So runner held for Carty, who walked his first time up. Drysdale out of the stretch. 5'11" righty. Carty goes the other way with that into right field. Base hit. Jones rounding, digging for third. 17, and the Dodgers will cut it off. So Mac Jones into third easily. Runners at the corners with 2 down. And the batter will be Joe Torre. Torre with an RBI double in the first. Drysdale checking the runners. Now from the stretch. 1-5. Ground ball right at Wills. Throws him out to retire the side. So the Braves strand a pair in the third. After 3 complete, it's Braves 3, Dodgers 2. So very similar to the beginning of yesterday's game before things got crazy. I hear that, Al. That reminds me when my cousin, now living in Sarasota, was going to college in San Francisco. And his mom and her husband, Bob, went down to visit, and Bob was driving. And Bob kept stopping at yellow lights. And Stewart says, "Bob, you got to quit doing that. You're going to get rear-ended." Okay, 4th inning. Cloninger ready to go to work. Lefevre to start it off. Batting left-handed. Cloninger into the windup. 1-7 righty. He loses in ball 4. So second walk for Lefevre. Not held at 14. He's not going to roll for it, however. With a 3 to get the lead and a 12 automatic out. Throw in the pickoff. He's got about as much chance of being out as he does getting the lead. Roseboro, in a bunting situation, will swing away. From the stretch, it's a 3-8 right-handed. Called, strike 3. Home plate umpire rings up Roseboro. Roseboro saying, yeah, well, just make sure my guy gets that pitch too. And here's Kennedy, who had an RBI single in the second. The pitch is a 2-9 righty. Grounder wide to second. Woodward scoops it up, throws him out, and on the play, Lefevre will advance to second. So runner in scoring position, 2 out, but the pitcher up, albeit a pretty good hitting pitcher in Drysdale. And Cloninger comes right at him with a 4-7. Liner to third, single to 4, and it's speared there by Matthews, and that retires the side. So Drysdale hit it well, but right at the third baseman. I'm going to refresh here. A lot more of a lag on my monitor the last couple of games. It'll be the bottom third of the lineup for Atlanta as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Dennis Menke 0 for 1. Drysdale into the windup now. It's going to be a 4-7 right-handed. Liner to third, single 15, and that's into left field for a leadoff single for Menke. Menke, no threat to run. Woodward in a bunting situation, but the pitcher on deck. A pretty good hitting pitcher. Would you bunt him over for Cloninger? You might. I mean, it's not out of the question. Let's see how many ground ball A's Woodward has. About 15, it looks like. That's not bad. He's going to swing away. The pitch from the stretch on a 2-3. Foul ball left side. Lefevre over by the stands is going to take that one. And there's one down. Here's Cloninger now. Drysdale's pitch on a 6-9 righty. That's ripped into left center. Double to 4. That's going to be a 2-star single for Cloninger. Menke keeps going right into third. And Cloninger showing off his bat here. And the Braves have something going with runners at the corners and one away. And up steps the red-hot Felipe Alou. Leads the majors in slugging, total bases, extra base hits, among other things. One-run game. How are the Dodgers going to play it? Well, again, let's look at the ground ball A's. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's always worth considering. 7, there's 8, 13. Not a whole lot. They're going to bring the infield in. Infield in for Alou. Drysdale from the stretch. It's a 5-11. Alou with a base hit into right field. That's going to drive in a run. Menke can walk home. Cloninger could go to third. 10, 12. He will not. They'll hold Cloninger at second on the RBI single by who else? Felipe Alou, of course. And that makes the score 4-2 Braves. Eddie Matthews steps to the plate. Hank Aaron looming in the on-deck circle. I tell you, by the time Alou comes to the plate, if you're the opposing pitcher, you're already thinking about Aaron. Drysdale's pitch to Matthews. 5-6, swung on and missed. Strike 3. It's a huge strikeout there for Drysdale. His 6th of the game. And here comes Aaron with 2 on and 2 down. Aaron homered in the first, grounded to second in the third. Drysdale checks the runners, the full windup. The pitch is a 2-7 righty. He pops him up. Will's waving his arms. They'll take it. And Drysdale gets out of that one cheaply enough. The Braves settle for a run on 3 hits and leave a pair. So we played 4. It is 4-2 Atlanta. Yeah, the beer batter streak is becoming very noticeable lately, unmitigated. Schaefer's thinking about revoking the contract. We go to the 5th. Maury Wills will start it off. Cloninger gets the sign from Joe Torre. Here's the pitch on a 5-6 lefty. He struck him out. So Wills goes on a fishing expedition and strikes out. And Wes Parker will be the hitter. Cloninger gets the side. Comes in with a fastball, 210. Lifts it the opposite way to left. Carty barely has to move. And grabs that one for out number 2. 2 out for Willie Davis, who homered his last time up. The pitch from Cloninger on a 6-8 lefty. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So K is to bookend the inning for Cloninger. That's his 4th strikeout of the ball game. And we're halfway through in a 4-2 game. And with that, I'm going to top off my coffee. I hear that, unmitigated. That's not a bad idea. They'll make a better, Yingling will come in with a better offer. More sponsorship dollars for the station. Wrong team at bat. Okay, the Braves will have Jones, Carty, and Torrey at the bottom of the 5th. Drysdale ready to go to work. Both starters 7 for endurance today. Jones 1 for 2. Drysdale into the windup. 5-2. High fly ball to deep right. Johnson back at the track at the wall. Leaps up and makes the catch. Well, that was exciting. Jones almost got it out of here on a homer 211. He rolled to 13 and Johnson leaps up and makes the catch. Here's Carty. Carty walked and singled as Drysdale comes set. It's a 1-9 and he walks him. So Carty's been on all 3 times today. No speed on the bases, of course, and even less at the plate as Joe Torre stands in. Double to run in the first, grounder to short in the 3rd. Drysdale working out of the stretch. 6-7 right-handed. Grounder to second X. That could be 2. Kennedy at 217. Here's the play on a 15. He's got it. Shovels it to Wills for 1 to first. 4-6-3 double play. Nice play by Kennedy. And that ends the inning. So Kennedy was in there for his glove. The fact that he has an RBI single in the game, you'd have to see that as you'd have to look at that as icing on the cake, really. That's right. Yeah, there was no track. It's just a habit, you know. I mean, I don't remember many of these parks from '66. I was 9, 10 years old. I know what Fenway looked like. I know what Wrigley looked like. I know what Dodger Stadium looked like. I know what Candlestick looked like. And what park wouldn't have a track? I would like to know the answer to that one. Yeah, good. Thank you, Ben. What park was that? Right, well, this park has a, for example, as I was reminded of yesterday, this particular ballpark has a chain link fence. I had forgotten that. So Crosley had no track. So what, did the grass just go to the fence? Holy crap. Talk about an injury waiting to happen. Here comes Aries, and Draco. Oh my God, they're all out. Maybe we should get a quick shot of Aries, because Aries likes to hide. Just so you can see her. And there's Aries. What's up, Aries? Oh, my whistler's dry today. I can't get it out. Anyway, that's Aries. Kind of a normal looking cat. Whatever that means. I was hoping Draco. Draco went back in. Well, I don't see... There's Mookie. He doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't even know what planet he's on. You know it and I know it, Elizabeth. Yellow Dog doesn't even know what county he lives in. Well, there's a good shot of Aries. Wow, she didn't run this time. Mostly any other time I've approached the glass, she'll run. Hello, Aries. So if you're around, where's your buddy Coda? See, that's more like it. Oh, wait. There's Coda way the hell over there. See him? By that yellow piece of trash. By the bushes. Over by the gravelly road. Or the grassy knoll, whichever you prefer. Most of you guys get a lot of these references too, which I thoroughly enjoy. I'm sure there are people going, what the hell is he going on about? And that's okay. God, I'm out of breath just from that, though. So while I am feeling better, it's really going to take a while to be 100%. But I'll take where I'm at for now. I'll take it. A zoodle, I will need a license, yeah. Good one, Unmitigated. Oh, yeah, that's true. He's going to hide in the dugout, and they're going to have to bring in Nate Oliver. So, where are we? Sixth inning. 4-2 Braves. Tommy Davis to start it off. Cloninger with the pitch. On a 2-5 righty, he hits a hard grounder down to third. Backhanded by Matthews, he throws him out. And here's Lou Johnson. Cloninger comes in with a fastball, 5-7, second base X, that's Woody Woodward. 324 ranging behind the bag. On an 18, he's there, twists and fires, nice play Woodward. Two down for Lefevre. Lefevre's walked both times so far today. Cloninger set on a 6-6 lefty. Rips it into right field for a base hit. Double on a 1. That will be a 2-out single for Lefevre. He's reached all 3 times. Him and Cardi have both reached 3 out of 3 times. And the batter is John Roseborough. World's worst gamer. Out of town, Drysdale pitched a complete shutout over his Giants in 68. Also went 3 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. A classic Drysdale game, world's worst. Cloninger out of the stretch. 5-6 left-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3, and down goes Roseborough for the second time today. And that'll wrap up the top of the 6th. Dodgers leave a man, and the score remains the same. Drysdale, what probably will be his last inning, due to bat second in the 7th. Dodgers with a fresh pen, thanks to Sutton's complete game in the opening game of the doubleheader. And the Braves will have the bottom third of their order, Dennis Menke to lead it off. Menke 1 for 2 on the day. Drysdale comes in with a fastball, 5-8, rolls it to short. Wills gobbles it up and throws him out. 1 down for Woody. Woody, as Ben pointed out, another fine game in the field, be it at second base or shortstop. I'm sorry, Unmitigated pointed that out, incorrectly credited that to Ben. Fastball, 6-5, shortstop X, Wills into the hole, 327. Here's the play on a 6. He's there, plants and throws just in time to nip Woodward. And with 2 down, nobody on, here is Cloninger. Drysdale with a 5-10 righty. Catcher's card. That's the Gold Glover 1E4. On a 1, foul out to the catcher, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning for Drysdale. We've played 6. It's 4-2 Braves. Probably in real life, they would let Drysdale bat here. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying I will, but I kind of think the Dodgers would have at this point. And they might even here. They don't have much of a bench. Well, let's see how it goes. Hello, Gerald. Welcome. Drysdale having a fine season in World's Worst Gamers replay. Kennedy 1 for 2. Cloninger in his first endurance inning gets his sign. Comes in with a 5-9 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. And you know what? In the interest of realism, I'm going to let Drysdale hit. 4-9 righty, flies it the other way to right. Aaron right there to pull it in. Sure, you could have pinch hit, but on a 4-9, lefty or righty, wouldn't have made a damn bit of difference. The pitch to Wills is a 6-3. That's extra bases. Homer on a 1, Wills legs it into a double. That's a 2-out double for Wills, his first hit of the day. And Parker will come to the plate representing the tying run here in the 7th inning. Mookie, of course, still in the catbird seat. Parker is 0 for 3. Cloninger glance at Wills. Now focusing on his catcher, goes into the full windup. The pitch to Parker on a 1-7 righty. Base hit right field. Wills rounding 17-19. Aaron -2, 17. Parker would go into scoring position. They're going to cut it off. Thought about it for a minute, but Parker the tying run. They're going to let Wills score, cut the throw off, and keep Parker to first base. One more hitter walk will fatigue Cloninger now. And a glance down in the Atlanta bullpen finds Chichi Olivo getting loose. Out to the mound is Torrey. Willie Davis, the batter. Willie D with a home run in this game, 1 for 3. Cloninger may be running out of gas. And in fact, Bragan is not going to wait around for Cloninger to tire. He's coming out and he's bringing the hook. Davis, not really an ideal matchup for Cloninger. So Cloninger goes 6 2/3. He allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 2 and hit a batter. He struck out 6. So on comes Chichi Olivo. He's been the best pitcher on the team this year. 1-0, 4 saves, a microscopic 1.23 ERA across 29 1/3 innings. He also worked in this game in real life. -1 hold, which will make Parker a 13. They will not be holding him. He's not a star stealer. Davis will swing away. From the stretch on a 3-7. Davis with a base hit into right. They're waving Parker to third. And here come the Dodgers again. First and third, 2 down, and Tommy Davis comes to bat. 4-3 Braves in the 7th. Dodgers threatening with 2 away. Tommy Davis 1 for 3 today. Olivo studying the signs. A glance at first. The pitch. 5-5 high fly ball center. Backing up is Jones. He's got room and the side is retired. Dodgers settle for a run on 3 hits. They leave a pair as Chichi Olivo comes on and puts out the fire. So as we go to the stretch, it's Braves 4, Dodgers 3. Anybody's game. We'll take another look at Mookie and we'll see if any of the rest of Dr. Doolittle's crew is out today. Mookie, what are you doing? All the other animals are having fun. Well, you're up there sawing logs. You're sawing logs, buddy. Huh? Aye. Oh, man, you're warm. You got it made. You got it made up there. You missed all the excitement. You know, they were all down there right under your nose. I'm trying to look out here now and see if Coda's still out there. It looks like they've all gone in. There's a rather large, fat squirrel. Well, that's a chunky squirrel. Okay, that squirrel has not missed many meals. There's also a quail family right out back here. I was hoping to get that, to capture that on video. I haven't been able to as yet. I tell you, just getting up and walking around the room, though, it just takes the wind out of me. Okay. Back to the action in this one. Another good game. Top of the order for Atlanta. World's worst for the Dodgers today. Alou 1 for 3. Drysdale into the windup. 6-4 right-handed. Grounder shortstop X. Wills ranging behind the bag. 327. On a 17, he's there, twists and fires. Nice play, Wills. Wills has had a good game on defense. He's been busy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 assists and a pop out. Here's Eddie Matthews. Drysdale gets the sign. 5-7 swung on and missed, strike 3, and it's the hat trick for Eddie Matthews. That'll bring up Aaron with 2 down and nobody on. That's just the way Drysdale would like to see him. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. It's a 5-6. Fly ball to straightaway center, fairly deep. Willie Davis glides back, however, and gets under it for the 3rd out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Drysdale. 1-run game as we go to the 8th. Let's check the Atlanta defense. Lou Matthews made the last out. And this is going to make it easy to improve Atlanta's defense, that is. Matthews comes out. Frank Bowling's going to go into the 2 spot and play second base. Where he is a 3-16. Woodward will move to short. 3-34. And Menke will slide over to third, where he's a solid 3-15. Thinking about Cardi. I'm not willing to take Cardi out yet, though. He's due to bat second in the bottom of the inning. All right, I'm going to grab the last of the coffee. Eighth inning, Braves 4, Dodgers 3. Chichi Olivo on the hill. Johnson, Lefevre, Roseboro due up. Taking off the jacket in the Atlanta pin is the stopper, Ted Abernathy. Johnson 0 for 3 today. Olivo into the windup. 6-7 right-handed. Grounder second base X. Boy, you come in the game and the ball will find you. That's Bowling, a 3-16. Ranging behind the sack on an 11. It's a 3 on a 16. And the throw pulls Alou off the bag. That's going to be an error on Bowling. So sometimes the defensive replacement doesn't always go as planned. That's the first error of the game. Johnson, a 14 star stealer. He'll be held on at 12. And the batter is Lefevre. It looked like the Braves were going to run away and hide in the first inning. But here we are in the 8th inning in a 1-run game. Had quail once, but I love Cornish game hen. Lefevre walked in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, singled in the 6th. Olivo out of the stretch. That's a 3-11 righter. Grounder to first, wide of first. Fielded by Alou. His only play to Olivo covering. And Johnson winds up at 2nd. So the tying run in scoring position with 1 away. And John Roseboro steps to the plate. Roseboro 0 for 3, struck out twice. That was against Cloninger, now facing Olivo. And here comes the pitch on a 6-7 lefty. Second base X, another chance for bowling, 316. Here's the play on a 2. He can't get it. That's a 2-star single and the ball game is tied. Oh my goodness. And the Dodgers get another huge break as the defensive replacement allows 2 base runners and a run. Holy crap. The old saying, it's better to be lucky than good. That's been true the last 2 days here. Not that they aren't good, but man, they've been lucky. Here's John Kennedy, fresh from his appearance at the grassy knoll. 1 for 3, there's 1 out. Olivo out of the stretch. That's a 5-12. First base X. Alou, 319. Hold your breath. On an 11, E-range. A 5 on a 19. Can you believe this? It's an error on Alou. And the wheels are coming off of the Atlanta defense in the 8th. Now you got a tie game and Drysdale at bat. And they're going to call him back this time. He batted in the 7th. He will not bat here. So Drysdale's day comes to an end at 7 innings. 2, 4, 7. 7 hits. 4 runs. 2, 3 walks, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. Coming off the bench to face Olivo, there's really only one good choice, and that's going to be Ron Fairley. So Fairley hitting 273 on the year, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. And there's a meeting on the mound for Atlanta right now. Olivo has to be feeling a little snake pit. Left switch left. Let's see what they can do. Phil Necro throwing. The only lefty is Dick Kelly. Dick Kelly's throwing as well. Kelly and Necro. Olivo's a backwards righty. That's an acceptable matchup for the Braves. And really, Olivo's done nothing wrong. He should be out of the inning. Pitching to Fairley now. The meeting is broken up by the home plate umpire, John Kibler. John Kibbles and Bits Kibler. Olivo gets the sign, the full windup. Here comes the pitch to Fairley. Big at bat here, 210 righty. High fly ball deep right field. Aaron back at the track, at the wall. Leaps up and makes the catch at the wall. What a play by Aaron. Roseboro will tag up and go to third. But that's a huge out right there. And here's Wills. Fairley almost got it out of here. Olivo from the stretch. It's a 5-3. Fly to left field. Next tough chance for Cardi. Oh my God, here we go again. 4E10. Cardi on the move on a 1. That's going to get past him and roll to the wall. By the time that finishes rattling around in the corner, here comes Roseboro to score. Kennedy clear around to score, and headed into third with a triple is Wills. And the Dodgers, just like that, take the lead. Pretty much handed to them by some shoddy defense by the Braves. With 3 runs in the 8th, they now lead at 6-4. And the Vulture begins to flap his wings out in the pen. Olivo, a 3-inning rated reliever. No issues there. Again, I see no reason to take Olivo out. He's really done nothing wrong. Pitching to Parker now with Wills at third, 2 down. That's a 4-10. High pop fly, shallow center coming on is Jones, and mercifully for Atlanta, it comes to an end. But 3 unearned runs for Los Angeles. On just 2 hits. Now we're taking a look at the Dodger defense. That's about as good as it gets. You might take Tommy Davis out. But again, he would be due to bat second in the 9th. So I'm not willing to do that. And here comes Phil Regan. Not a Vulture situation, but it is a save situation with a score at 6-3. Regan on the year, 4-2, the team leading 11 saves and a 3.78 ERA across 33 innings of work. Exactly Larry Waters. For the decision to leave Cardi in left field, the second guessers can come out in droves on that one. It'll be Jones, Cardi, and Torrey in the bottom of the 8th. Braves need 3 to tie. Here's the pitch from Regan. It's a 3-12 righty, and that's banged into right field for a leadoff single. So a good start for Atlanta. Jones' second hit of the afternoon. -4 battery now, so Jones will not need to be held at 11. And up steps Stone Glove Cardi. Cardi has not been retired today. Regan from the stretch. 6-5, fly ball to straightaway center. Davis on his horse. He's there to make the play. Willie Davis puts that one away, and 1 down, and here is Torrey. The pitch from Regan. 3-7 righty. That's banged into right field. Triple to 1. That's going to be a single for Torrey all the way to third. Goes Mac Jones. And that'll get the tying run to the plate. That'll be Dennis Menke. Quick glance at the bench, no help. Infield at double play depth. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, 112, and he hits him. On a 1. Holy cow. Here we go. On a 3. No ejection. But that loads the bases. Now there's a meeting on the mound for Los Angeles. Roseborough's out there. Alston's out there checking on his pitcher. Woody Woodward at the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. Menke, the tying run at first base. 1 through 12 runner. You'd like to see a little better there, but they don't have another third baseman. Well, they could put De La Hoz out there. A 4E25. Well, let's think about that. Is that a better matchup? Not really. It's going to be Woody. Nobody in the on-deck circle as of yet. Now Felix Millan has grabbed a bat. Regan ready to go to work now. The full windup on a 6-6 righty. Grounder to third base. Lefevre has it. He goes to second for 1 to first. Not in time. A run will score. As Jones crosses the plate to make it 6-4. Menke to third. Give Woodward an RBI, and now we're going to have a batter for Chichi Olivo. And really, it's a no-brainer at this point. It's got to be Millan. So the youngster, Felix Millan, steps up to the plate here. First and third, 2 down. Millan, 21 for 84, a 250 average. Does not have a home run. Well, he may not be the batter of choice. May not be the batter of choice. Of course, De La Hoz also has weak power. So you're not going to get an N power to the plate. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's not Millan. It's going to be Gary Geiger. The only guy with N power. So my apologies there. Pinch hitter will be Gary Geiger. 268, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and just 97 at-bats. Tying run is at first, actually, Larry, isn't it? I don't think he was yet, Franklin. Was he? Maybe. Let's see, we had a single and out, single first and third. Hit by a pitch to load of a 5-4 force. So runners at first and third. No runner at second. 6-4 game. Let's check the speed on Woodward, since he is the tying run. Not held at 9. Geiger will swing away. Here's the pitch from Regan. Gary Geiger, 6'4", fly center S. Davis X. Davis on his horse, 2E12. Back and to the right on a 4. What a tremendous running, leaping catch by Willie Davis to take extra bases away from Gary Geiger. And that's the difference in the game right there. It's a web gem play by Willie Davis to end the inning. So while the Braves defense handed the Dodgers 3-run, the Dodger defense robs the Braves of at least 1, possibly 2. And that wraps up the 8th. Six five. Sorry. I had the score wrong. Thank you, Larry. You're absolutely right. The tying run was at third. You said second, I said first. It was at third the whole time. So a game-saving catch by Willie Davis. Braves need a pitcher. Left, right, right. They're going to go to Abernathy. They're not messing around. So Cloninger allowed 3 runs. Olivo, 3 hits, 3 runs, none earned. No walks, no strikeouts. Here comes Abernathy, who with the Braves 1-2, 8 saves, 1.26 ERA. Sorry, Larry. Sorry everybody about the confusion, but you can all read it. I want to thank everybody for being here. I thought so. Yeah, it was Brown's dad. Yep. The long line of Browns, right? Because I was of age when Ronald Reagan came into popularity. My dad was a big Ronald Reagan fan. And so we go to the 9th inning in a nail biter. Dodgers leading 6-5. Heart of the order against Ted Abernathy. Willie Davis, 2 hits and a game-saving catch. Abernathy with the pitch. 212 right-handed. Lomax right at the second baseman bowling. So Davis hit that one on the screws, but right at bowling. And with 1 out, here's Tommy Davis. Abernathy gets the sign. On a 6-7 righty. High fly ball to center. Going back Jones. Double to 10. He's there to track it down. Nice play. Jones had to go back a ways to pull that one in. So 2 out, nobody on for Lou Johnson. Here's the pitch from Ted Abernathy. 5-7. He loses in ball 4. 2 out walk to Sweet Lou. Not held at 13. I think they're going to hold him. Dodgers love to run. They're going to hold him at 11. Can't take any chances with the Dodgers running. There are 4 teams, 2 in each league, that you kind of have to assume are always going to be looking to run. Jim Lefevre, 1 for 2 with a pair of walks, stands in, left-handed hitter. The pitch from Abernathy on a 3-8 righty. Base hit into right field. They're waving Johnson to third. And it's a 2-out rally in the 9th. And the batter will be Roseboro. Roseboro 1 for 4. Had a big RBI single and scored in that wild 8th. Runners at the corners. Abernathy, a glance down at third, a glance at first. Throw over, Lefevre back in time. Now comes set and the pitch to Roseboro on a 1-8 righty. High fly ball to deep right center. Aaron back at the track, at the wall. It's gone on a 5. Oh my goodness, they get another huge roll. John Roseboro has just busted this open with a 3-run shot in the 9th. Holy cow, that takes the air out of the crowd. Let's take another look at it. The dice jumped on me. Hang on, move up there. Okay, I want to double check this dice roll on Roseboro. On a 1-8 righty, homer to 5. Just did, Aaron went up for it, but it just did clear the fence. John Roseboro hits just his third home run of the season. Can you believe it? So Abernathy comes on and coughs it up. And here's Kennedy. Fastball, 110, comebacker. Abernathy throws him out, but the damage is done. 3 runs on 2 hits, nobody left. Dodgers take a 9-5 lead. Holy crap. Reagan for his second inning of work. And he will face the top of the Braves order. Felipe Alou. 1 for 4 today. Reagan gets the sign. Here's the windup, the pitch, fastball, 3-5 right-handed, base hit up the middle. Second hit for Alou. No stopping Felipe Alou. And here's bowling. Now they need the bat more than the glove of bowling, so Mian is going to bat for bowling. Reagan out of the stretch. 3-8 righty. Rolls it right to Wills. Steps on the bag. Fires to first. Double play. And the Braves down to their last out. At least Hank Aaron will get another at bat. Most of the large crowd filing out now as Aaron stands at the plate, 1 for 4 with a home run. The pitch from Reagan is a 5-5 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's the ball game. And the Dodgers do it again. And somebody pointed it out. I'm going to read this. It was Al. That seems to be happening a bit. LA gets a big inning on 1 or 2 hits. It has been happening a bit. So this was, Olivo actually ends up with the loss and didn't allow an earned run. His record falls to 1-1. Abernathy in his inning gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, a walk and no Ks. Drysdale ends up with the win, scoring his mark at 7-7. And for Phil Regan, the Vulture, his 12th save. He allowed 3 hits and a run. Didn't walk anybody. He hit 1. Struck out 1. Player of the game, I'm with Mangler. It's got to be Willie Davis. 2 for 4 with a homer and a game-saving web jam of a catch. Attaboy to Roseboro. He put it away. He did have 4 RBIs. You can make a case to split it, actually. That's a good point, Franklin. You know what? I'm going to split it. I'm going to give it to Davis and Roseboro. 9-5 is the final. Dodgers 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Braves 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, and a couple of misplays that don't show up as errors. So you got to say that the Braves defense basically handed this one to the Dodgers. A very shoddy defensive game by Atlanta. So the Dodgers sweep the doubleheader, take 2 out of 3 of the 4-game series with 1 game remaining. Well, I'm going to get out of here, but first let's take a quick look at the schedule, see what I got tomorrow. Tomorrow we're back to the American League. It'll be Washington Senators at Boston Red Sox. Dick Bosman for Washington. Raleigh Sheldon for the Boston Red Sox. So until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to get something to eat. Take care, everybody. Hopefully, see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.